listening to the Mass and what the priest had to say.
Bila sam vjerujući da je dobro za mene.
And I have kept everything believing that is good for me.
Poslije nesreće u kojoj sam oštetila moje lijevo oko, otišla sam u glavnu gradsku bolnicu.
After the accident that I had and where I have damaged my left eye, I went to the main capital city to the hospital.
Tu sam dolazila nekoliko puta.
I was going to that hospital for a few times regularly to attend the eye.
Gdje su pokušali da mi pomognu, ali bez uspjeha.
They have tried, the doctors have tried to help heal my eye, but with no success.
Dok sam bila u bolnici, došao je jedan mladić koji je potpuno bio slijep.
When I was in the hospital, one young man came and he was fully blind.
Pitao me je da li bi htjela jednu knjigu, rekla sam pa hoću.
He asked me if I would like one book, and I said yes.
Da mu pročitam, ja sam rekla hoću.
Yeah, he asked to read to him. He asked her to read to him.
On mi je dao Bibliju i zamolio me da pročitam neke stihove.
He gave me the Bible and he asked me to read few verses to him.
Nikada nisam vidjela Bibliju.
I have never seen the Bible before.
Jer smo mi imali, kaže, samo katoličku molitvenik.
Because the only thing that we were given was the Catholic prayer book.
Jeste, koji sam redovno čitala.
And I was reading it regularly.
I iskreno tražila misleći da tako služim Bogu.
And I believed what it said, and I thought that this is how I will serve God.
Jako me je zainteresovalo šta sam čitala tome mladiću.
It interests me very much that what I have read to this young man.
Jednog dana mi je zamolio da mu pročitam 2. Mojsijeva 31, 12 do 16.
One day he had asked me to read to him second Exodus 31, 12 to 16.
Kad sam mu pročitala, on me je pitao da li ja to vjerujem.
After I have read this to him, he asked me, do I believe in this?
Ja sam mu rekla da ja služim Bogu onako kako treba.
And I told him that I serve the God the right way, how it's supposed to be.
To piše kod vas u pravoslavnoj Bibliji.
She said, this is what it says in the Orthodox Bible.
On me je pitao da li bi ja to vjerovala ako to piše u katoličkoj Bibliji.
And then he asked me, would I believe this if the same thing was written in Catholic Bible?
Ja sam njemu rekla, ti samo meni uzmi katoličku Bibliju.
And I told him, if you could get me the Catholic Bible.
U nedjelju je otišao u katoličku katedralu i kupio mi je katoličku Bibliju.
And on Sunday he went to the Catholic Cathedral and he bought me a Catholic Bible.
Čitali smo iste, kaže, stihove.
And we read the same verses.
Ja sam se uvjerila da piše isto.
And then I believe that it says the same thing.
Kako sam pročitala, molila sam Boga da mi oprosti.
As I have read these verses, I have asked God to forgive me.
Jer sam ja pročitala u pravoslavnoj, da mi je on čitao iz pravoslavne Biblije, to ja sam vremena rekla da je to samo od Srba. To u nas katolika nema nikad. Kad mi je donio katoličku Bibliju, kad sam pročitala da piše jednako, i u katoličkoj i u pravoslavnoj Bibliji. Ja sam se predala kako pokajala sam se.
Okay, so at first when he just read those verses to her in Orthodox Bible, she didn't believe that the same thing would be written in Catholic. But after he has read the same verses, the same statement in the Catholic Bible, she believed that that was the right thing.
I ja sam se uvjerila da piše isto.
And I was convinced that it was written the same.
Kad sam pročitala, molila sam Boga da mi oprosti, jer Bog ima istu poruku za sve narode ovoga svijeta.
As I have read this, I asked God to forgive me because He has the same message for all the nations of this world.
Održala sam obećanje i od toga dana sam počela da svetlujem subotu.
Excuse me. I have kept my promise, and since that day, I have started to keeping the Sabbath.
Rekao mi je da ima jedna grupa ljudi koji svetluju subotu.
He told me that there is one group of people that they are worshiping Sabbath.
Poziva me da idemo na molitvu.
And he invited me to come to prayer.
Od toga nikada nisam pristupila da idem u boju, kaže, u boju crkve.
Since then, I have never stopped going in a better church.
Rade i ja smo se uzeli i Gospod vodio je kroz život, kaže. Imao dobre i loše stvari.
The Rade and I have got married, and God had led us through our life, and we had some good and some bad things in our life.
Da smo imali nekada dobre, nekada loše stvari. Kako to bude svugdje, ne samo kod mene i moga Rade.
We had some good moments, some bad moments, but that's how it is always, not just in our life, but in everybody's life.
Rade i ja smo se uzeli, kaže, i Gospod vodio kroz život, kaže, imajući sreću u tome.
We got married, and God had led us through our life.
Gospod nam je pomogao da napravimo kuću u koju smo rado primali, kaže, propovjednike i misionare.
God has helped us to build a house in which we were gladly to receive ministers and missionary workers.
Bili smo sretni kad nam je Gospod poslao brata Branka Lalića, kaže, sa porodicom.
We were very happy when the God sent us Brother Branko Lalić with his family.
Po dolasku brata Branka kupljena je crkva.
After the arrival of Brother Branko, the church was bought for that area.
U Božju pomoć njegovo djelo se širilo i dolazili nam članovi, kaže, zato ja sam bila vrlo sretna.
With God's help, we have the work was spreading, and we were receiving new members, and I was very happy for that.
Bog nas je blagoslovio sa 3 djece.
God has blessed us with 3 children.
Jedan je bio naš sin Milan, koji je završio školu i pozvan u armiju.
One of those children is Brother Milan, and he finished school, and then he was called to the army.
To su bili dani kušnje, kaže, vrijeme za nas i za njega.
Those were the days of temptation and trials for us and for him.
I ako nije bio kršten, rekao nam je da neće ići bez Biblije.
Even though at that time he was not baptized, he told us that he will not go without the Bible.
Kao majki nije mi bilo lako, kao kad je otišao, kad je telefon zazvonio.
As a mother, it was very hard for me when the phone rang.
Starješina te tražio moga radeta i obavijestio ga da je Milana odveo u zatvor.
The officer asked for my Rade and told him that Milan was taken. The Milan said that he will not take the gun, and he was taken to the prison.
Jer je Milan odbio da održi, kaže, da uzme oružje.
Because he denied to take the arms.
I da ga je on odveo u Ustavni sud u Beograd.
And that the same officers had taken him to the investigative court in Belgrade.
To je ležao u samici, kaže, pokušala sam ući da mu, kaže, promijeni mišljenje.
The officer was trying to change his beliefs, his opinion, what he believed.
Kada smo se ja i Rade došli kod Milana, pokušao i nas ubijediti. To je bio major Kilečević koji je moga Milana primio tamo i oduzao mu ga onda iz ruke Bibliju.
When Rade and I came there to see Milan, he tried to convince us as well to change our what we believed, and at that time he took away Milan's Bible.
Kako ti možeš raditi ako sina svoga da ga ti ubijediš da on ne uzme oružje da mora ići u zatvor?
And he was saying, Rade, how can you be like this to convince your son that he should not take the gun and now to go to jail?
Rade njemu kaže, moj sin toliko svjetan da zna kome da služi.
And Rade said, oh, but my son knows good enough that he makes his own decisions.
Onda je se okrenuo meni i kaže meni, kaže, ti kao majka šta kažeš za svog sina?
And then he turned to me and he said, you as a mother, what do you say for your son?
Ja kažem meni je neka vas bude sramota.
And I said, you should be ashamed.
Šta to radite? Moje dijete nije naučilo da bude gladna ni žedna.
And I said, my child is not used to be hungry and thirsty.
Moj se sin meni žali da nema što da jede. Neku supu i lijep posud sa tom supom sačinom, on je vegetarijanac.
My son is complaining to me that he has nothing to eat. You bring him soup and bread, and you even pour the soup over the bread because the soup was not vegetarian, so he couldn't even eat the bread.
Ja znam da se moj sin obećao Bogu da će Gospodu služiti.
I know that my son has promised to God that he will serve him.
Onda ja kažem, to nije dobro. Kaže on, pa onda ko će njemu donositi da jede?
And I said, this is not good what you're doing. And
Ja
then he said, oh, but who will bring him food to eat?
Ja kažem, imamo ovdje ko će nositi Alca Radojković i sestra Lidija naša.
And I said, oh, there are people who will come and bring him food. There was Aca Radojković and Sister Lydia.
I tako smo mi onda Milana ostavili, mi smo otišli kući.
And that's how we left Milan, and we left home, for home.
Jeste. I mene zove iz Beograda Aca, kaže, ja Milana nisam našao.
And Aca was calling me from Bergen and saying, oh, I did not find Milan
Kroz 3 dana.
for 3 days.
Ja nisam, kažem, Aca, on te traži, ja vidi gdje mi dijete.
And I asked, please, Aca, please go look for him. Where is my child?
Kaže, onda je nazvao opet i rekao, kaže, otvorili su ga u Valjevo u bolnicu, vojnu bolnicu, u zatvor vojni.
And then he called again and he said, oh, they took him to Valjevo, to the army prison.
Ja. I tamo kad smo čuli da je to, da smo opet išli tamo, ja i moj Rade.
And then Radha and I were going there again to Valjevo.
Jeste u Valjevo. I tamo smo došli prvi put. Sad će znati kako je u zatvoru. Onda smo se vratili kući. Pa smo išli još nekoliko puta u to Valjevo.
So we were going for a few times to visit Milan in that prison in Valjevo, but you can just imagine how it was there in prison and how he must have been treated.
I kad smo htjeli da idemo opet u Valjevo, da obiđemo Milana u zatvoru.
And one time when we wanted to go visit Milan again in the prison,
dolazio je jedan brat i kaže nama, nemojte da idete vi tako sami, ja imam kola, ja ću vas odvesti kod Milana, ja volim Milana da obiđem.
And then one brother came to us and he said, don't go just like that, the two of you, I have a car and I would like to see Milan as well, so I will take you.
Onda smo išli po noći, snijeg je padao i auto je udarilo u nas, u naše auto.
And we were going, it was night, and it was snowing, it was bad weather, and we had an accident, a car hit us.
Jeste, onda moj Rade poginuo, a ja sam bila slomljena, 7 repara s jedne strane, s ove strane 2 i tako sam bila sva u gusu.
And that was the time when my Rade passed away, and I was all broken up. I had 7 broken ribs on one side and 5 on this side, and I was in very bad condition, and I was all in a cast.
I onda su mene doveli u bolnicu u Sarajevo, a onda mi je došla vezna.
And then I was taken to the hospital in Sarajevo, and then Mama Vesna
Milanka
came.
isto došla moja.
And
I
Milanka also
Milana su
came.
pustili iz zatvora da ide na sahranu.
And Milan was let go from the prison to go to his father's funeral.
Ja nisam znala, meni Milan kaže, mama, evo ja sam se kaže malo je prvo, kaže, pa sam došao, kaže, samo da te vidim kako si ti. A ja ću sada da idem pa ćeš ti doći. I ja sam ovako ležla, kad sam se ja ovako okrenula, ja vidim moja Vesna sa njim.
I didn't know, and Milan came to visit me, and he said, "Oh, I just, came to see you." And as I turned around, I saw that my Vesna was wearing black.
Ja. I onda su oni odšli da sahrane moga Radeta, a ja sam ostala u bolnici.
And then they went to bury my Rada, and I stayed in the hospital.
Jedina mi je utjeha bila čitajući njegove, kaže, riječi, obrazovanja. Riječi i uzdaha su njegova obećanja, ljubav, to sam kasnije ja razmišljala.
My only consolation was reading the Bible and reading God's word about His promises and His love.
Držati se čvrsto za njegove riječi i uzdah u Gospodu.
I was holding on strongly on His word and His promises.
I ja sam onda uzela da čitam Sveto pismo. I tu mi je bila jedna velika radost.
My great joy was in reading the Bible.
I onda sam iza toga išli smo u crkvu svake subote, ja sa mojom djecom.
We were going to church every Sabbath.
I najsretnija sam bila kad dođem u crkvu i vidim moju braću, kaže, omladinu i djecu, i braću i sestre.
I was the happiest when I would come to church and I would see my brothers and sisters there, my family, and my children.
Ja sam toliko sretna kad dođem u crkvu, kad vidim ovdje i brata Dorina i vidim djecu, vidim braću i sestre.
And the same way I'm happy today when I come to church and I see my brothers and sisters here. I see the children, the youth, and I see Brother Doran.
Ja. familija do familije, tako imamo jedan zajednički život u ovoj crkvi. I zato se pazim, hoću da idem uvijek u crkvu i molim i savjetujem svakoga da ne ostavlja crkve niko živ, to je rekla apostol Pavle. Nemojmo ostavljati crkve. Budimo zajedni jedni prema drugome.
As the Apostle Paul said, do not leave your churches. That's how I love to come, and that's why I try so hard to attend. And when I see families together and praising the Lord.
Ja sam toliko sretna što smo ovdje svi zajedno i što mogu da čitam Sveto pismo. To je jedina moja utjeha.
My only condolence is when I read the Holy Bible and I see us all together.
Jedina moja utjeha, zato zahvaljujem se Gospodu što mi je Gospod pomogao i dao mi djecu, dao mi je unučad i pravnučad snaje. I drugo, sve mi je dao, zato ovdje danas imam 90 godina i Gospod je pomogao sve radi moje djece, radi mojih zetova koji me paze.
And that's why I'm very thankful to God, because He has given me my children, my grandchildren, my grandgrandchildren, my son-in-laws, thank you, my son-in-laws, and I'm so grateful for that.
Moja poruka je svima da hrabro i dobro napredujemo držeći se moćne ruke Isusa Hrista.
My message to all is to hold the strong mighty hand of God, and to go forward, keeping His hand and His promises.
Znate, braćo i sestre,
Dear brothers and sisters,
čuli ste već da sam bila u katoličkoj crkvi i odgojena sam u tome.
you already heard, as I said, that I was in Catholic Church and I was raised in Catholic Church.
Kad sam upoznala ovu Bibliju i u Bibliji što piše da je subota sveta,
When I have learned in the Bible that the Sabbath is holy,
ja sam sretna što je mogu da je sveti.
I'm happy that I can keep it holy.
Oprosti što nije bilo dobro.
I'm sorry if it wasn't perfect.
Amen.
Amen. Sister Wanda, this is a little attention.
Oh, thank you.
They say in society, if a Catholic is converted, then you can count this is going to be a true believer. It doesn't mean that the rest of the people are ignored, but it's not easy to people from the Roman Catholic Church to accept the message. But once they accept it, and we can see, I don't want to take more time. We have some more experiences to come. But we can see that Sister Ivanka has come to the truth in such a miraculous way, and down the road she lost her partner for life, and but she didn't despair. She was looking forward for a soon return of the Lord Jesus Christ, and we can see that the Lord has blessed her to 90 years old. I wish Brother Milan was here today, but I believe he can watch. He has heard this story. Some of us know his experience, and I'm really praising the Lord for wonderful experiences. It was not easy later on, to take care of children and so forth. We can imagine how, but the Lord has blessed, and we are really blessed, Sister Ivanka, to have you among us and to guide us. Sister Ivanka is not a lady of many words, but she would know when it's for fun. She would know when to laugh, and how to play with children, to give them a ride with a walker, and I think they enjoy as well. So may the Lord bless you. And next I would like to call Bianca and Marta. They have an instrumental line. Next, I'd like to invite Sister Valerie. She will speak from where? You want a chair? Okay. So I'd like to say that Sister Valerie made an effort. She was not feeling very well yesterday to come, but I was praying and I said, well, we are planning, and it will be nice that you can share your experience. And we invite Sister Valerie to share with us.
Catherine. Coming from the world is not easy, but the Lord has prepared a way for us, and if we follow His leading, we will get to the right pathway. I was brought up in a Sunday church, a Presbyterian church. My grandmother would take us to church every Sunday morning. When I was about 10 years old, we would study the Bible together, and the Sunday school teacher was a very good teacher. We had to know the memory verses and all of that. But when I was 10 years old, reading the Bible, I came upon the 10 Commandments. I did not understand it, but I went to my grandmother. She explained all of that to me. So I asked her, why do we go to church on Sundays then? And she said it was a custom, but the real day to go to church is on a Saturday. Okay? She found some friends who were going to church on a Saturday, and they sent me with them. I was only 10 years old. After going to church for a while, I got baptized. I loved church. I got baptized at 16 years old. But then I went to live with my aunt, and my uncle-in-law, who was a Seventh-day Adventist minister, and for the first half of the life was very, very good. Then my uncle-in-law was doing things that were not right, and it drove me out of church. I went back to the world, and I was very comfortable there because there was no church to go to. You could do what you want to do, and I was there for a while, but it was not fulfilling. I needed something else, but I craved the world because my uncle-in-law is a Seventh-day Adventist pastor. He could be doing the things he was doing. Why am I going to go back to church? So I stayed there for a while. I was encouraged not to marry a non-Adventist or somebody who's not going to the church. I defied my parents, and I went and I got married. Things got worse. Now, when I go to church on Sabbaths, when I come home from afternoon programs, he would lock the door, so I had to stay outside. I still continued to go to church, but then the Seventh-day Adventist church was changing. It was not the same, so it was